Hello, everyone. We'll get started at right at 8 o'clock in 4 minutes. Welcome to the live stream. If you have some success stories, testimonials, some exciting things that you'd like to share with everyone, please drop them into the chat so that I will be able to read them once we go live. Well, we're already live, but once we start with everyone. Hey, Christine, early as usual. Congratulations again. So exciting on your promotion. Hey, Chandra. Hope that everyone is finishing out February really strong. Hope that you're all really well set up for amazing March, new catalog. So excited about the foot care. Good evening, Jesse. Hi, Tracy. We'll get started in about 2 minutes. My kids are listening to YouTube toy review videos, and they use the free YouTube music background that's whistling. And so it's got me kind of dancing. So if I'm moving around a lot, it's because of the YouTube toy review videos that drive me absolutely insane. Do your kids watch those? Hi, Patricia. Waiting for your kettle to finish boiling. You need tea. Oh, what kind of tea do you like? I have, my family got me some Tivana for Christmas and a little brewer and everything. Christine says, oi, all the time. Yeah, the YouTube toy review videos, I wish my kids had never found them. They drive me bananas. It's the second thing Aaron says when he gets off the bus. The first thing is food. The second thing is Ryan's toy reviews. Tracy's getting the foot care on Wednesday. I am like so excited about foot care. We don't have time. Hi, Lisa. Chandra says she's working on getting her 2 girls active so she can hit LC. Awesome. Yeah, Aaron is, his first word was chip. Not mom, not dad, chip. He loves food. He is 150% boy. I've got this little fuzzy patch right here that's driving me crazy, so I'll try to leave my hair alone today. I watched a replay and realized that I play with my glasses and my hair a lot. Lisa says she's already planning her petty demo parties. Awesome. Okie doke. Well, let's get started. Thanks, Christine. PowerJam. Oh, let me get to the starter slide on that so I don't have to change it all. Do 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 do. I swear it drives me crazy. I'm going to have to turn this volume down. I have my phone with me? Yes, I do. So an awesome thing about the Google Chromecast is that Mom has all the power and can turn down everyone's TVs or turn them off. All right, that's better. Share. All right, so right now you guys should be looking at our belief slide, and we will get started. I'm just reading through comments here. Everyone's here. Awesome. Okay, very good. Y'all are right on time. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. First, I would like to welcome you back. You are the best of the best. We had 270 people apply for PowerJam. Of those 270 people, we had 200, give or take, join our Facebook group and start with us. Week 1, we had 105 people who turned in their homework. Last week, we had 77 people who turned in their homework. So congratulations, you guys are really rocking it. You're the best of the best. You're here, you're still hanging in there and working, even though we're 2 days from the end of the month, and end of month is always crazy. So I want you to be sharing those victories. We talked about encouraging ourselves, keeping that kudos folder, having something to reflect back on and help you get back into the excitement and the emotional cycle of sales. So I want you to be sharing your victories, whether they're personal or business victories. I know we've had some promotions. Christine Hannon, I just know off the top of my head because I'm her team manager. She promoted to senior consultant this week. That's awesome. We've had at least one new senior team manager promote in our downline. I was just briefly looking at reports this afternoon. We've got lots of premier consultants, lead consultants. So if you have promoted, share it with us here and share it in the Facebook group. We want to be able to celebrate with you. Tonight, we are talking about team building and recruiting. And then next week, our last week, we're going to focus on your team. So we're going to be talking about recruiting in 2 components. First, how you're feeling and what you're thinking. And second, how you initiate the recruiting process to get the end results that are best for you and your potential recruit. Caroline promoted to lead consultant today. Congratulations. Stacy just promoted to senior lead consultant. Lisa's very close to lead consultant. Oh, you guys, I'm so happy for you. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. Well, at different times during your business with Jamberry, you will need to reconnect to Jamberry to be able to help new consultants start with a deep connection. And this belief system, we have to believe in our product. You have to know that it is relevant to the market, and whenever you are excited about the products, it's going to make a huge difference. Do you believe that this concept of hand care, nail care, making life beautiful, do you believe it's going to continue to grow, or are you not so sure? Whatever the answer to that is, it will show. Another component of this is the marketing plan. Whenever you take a look at the top marketing companies that have direct selling associates, Jamberry has taken the best of the best of the best and made a very robust marketing plan. It encourages us to work efficiently and to make lots of money. It rewards positive behaviors. There's never a point in the compensation plan that will reward you for a negative behavior. It's always about reaching down, helping other people promote and grow. And whenever they are successful, you are more successful. It's just very well balanced and well rounded all the way around. And then we have our heritage and our tradition. You know, we are nearing the 6-year mark as a company. And so we're not in that space of a brand new company. We've made it past that 5-year mark, which is a huge milestone in the direct selling industry. Many companies, like something like 90% of companies, don't make it past their first year. And then 5 years is another milestone that once you make it past 1 year and then past 5 years, you've got this stability. So we've got this amazing heritage and tradition, but we also have infrastructure in place, and we have not done we have not even come close to penetrating the market for Jamberry. You know, probably 90% or more have not heard about or have not tried Jamberry. So we've got a great past and an even better future. And then the fourth component of this belief is you. And I want to just reiterate that Jamberry believes in you. Their entire business model is built on you and me, our teams, the way that we go out and represent the company. That's a lot of faith to put into independent consultants. Just think for a moment that you have created a company and a brand, and now you are hiring somebody to be the spokesperson for that brand. What are you going to have them do and say? Well, Jamberry has entrusted us with being the face of the brand. So Jamberry really believes in you. And you need to also believe in you, in the success that you've already had up to this point, and the victories that will come to you in the next few years. When you believe in what you're doing, you just radiate energy. There may be times that you don't believe in yourself. You know, you may struggle with rank. You may have parties cancel or have low sales, but you have to get your belief back at some point. But the company always believes in you. Our team always believes in you, and I believe in you. These four together are the key components to believing. And the most important, the strongest element of this is you. You need to believe in you 100%. And that I hope that if you're not approaching 100%, that you will find ways to get there, to get to 100%. So then the next portion is back with the company and believing in Jamberry by using the brand values. Let me put my screen back so I can see comments. I don't want to miss anything. All right. So you probably are already familiar with the Jamberry brand values. If you are fairly new, you got a brand values book in your starter kit. If you have been around for more than 6 or 8 months, you might not have a brand book yet. I encourage you to order that. And it is a beautiful book. Whenever I take it with me to events, it's the first thing that people pick up off the table because they want to see what's inside of it. It's got great photographs and content. And I encourage you to read through that. I believe it's also available digitally. If someone has a link for that, please drop it into the group for me. But let's just go through these Jamberry brand values. The first is to be unique, and I encourage you to find a unique look that expresses your true self and to help other people find their uniqueness and their look as well. This is going to, of course, start with your nails, but allow that to overflow into other areas, your wardrobe, the bags that you take to parties or to travel, your lunch bag that you take to work, or the new throw pillows for your living room. Allow your unique style to shine through in other areas as an extension of your nails. Secondly, be creative. The only thing better than finding and expressing your own style is helping other people express theirs. So learn how to work with your new team members and your customers and your hostesses to really help them identify what is their style and help them to be creative. Patricia says, I always see be unique as stand out, but maybe that's just me. No, I agree. I love the quote, why blend in when you were created to stand out? And that may be a little overwhelming for someone who's an introvert or a little bit shy, but Christine says she's embracing self-care this year and that I spearheaded that. Yes, I'm so excited. My theme last year was self-care is not selfish, and that you can't give from an empty cup. So I'm glad that I am able to share that. That was something that I felt was kind of creative, and I'm so excited that I got to share that with other people. So be unique, be creative. Then next is be a family. I think that this is probably the truest and most original value that Jamberry has had from the beginning. And I suspect it's because the company was started by sisters that we have this family feel. But I can truly say I've never been a part of a company or an organization where information and ideas and trainings are shared so freely. Whatever you need, you can get. I've been in environments before where when somebody has a great idea, they keep it to themselves because they don't want anyone else to be successful with it. And we just don't see that kind of attitude in Jamberry. The attitude is very family oriented. Mi casa es su casa. What's mine is yours. How can we help each other? A sisterhood, a jamily. All of that, I think, is really important, especially in team building, because you are going to have people who are drawn to that who have never experienced true family in their lives. And I've got goosebumps right now just thinking about the opportunity we have to have an impact on other people, even beyond the business opportunity, which flows nicely into be a blessing. Jamberry allows people to bless their own lives by nurturing an ever-expanding circle of friends. Whenever we're focused on the relationships that we're building and focused on expressing these brand values in our lives and in our businesses, we are going to be a blessing to other people by nurturing them. Stacy says, I totally agree. I never really believed that it could be a true family. I thought that it would be a group of competitive women, but it's quite the opposite. I love that you find that true as well. Delana says, I love that we share everything and work together as a team. It can be a lonely and competitive world, but never have really felt that with Jam Sisters. Tracy says, I liked the nails and I stayed for the friendships. That's really powerful, you guys, because that is us. That's what we create, and that's what we perpetuate whenever we teach these brand values to our teams and to our customers, when we exemplify them. I always look for ways to add in this hashtag. Anytime I see a Jam Sister do something that exemplifies one of the brand values, I will comment on her post, hashtag be a family or hashtag be generous, just to reiterate to her and to our Jamily that these brand values are important and worth recognizing and repeating. And then finally, be generous. Jamberry was built on a foundation of sharing. Because our products and our compensation plan are so universally appealing, there's plenty of opportunity to go around. You know, this last week, we've seen the announcement of the Jamberry Foundation and a new exciting direction with our charity. I was able to start a fundraiser this week. So you can be generous with your money. You can be generous with your time. Obviously, we're generous with our thoughts and our ideas, but really look for ways that you can share and be generous. And in that vein, coming from that place is where I want to start talking about team building. So I'm going to switch over our screen to the next slide. Maybe. There we go. Share. All right. So let's discuss team building before we talk about recruiting, okay? So first, I want you to be ready. I want you to have your supplies or your recruitment bag ready anywhere you are. So if you're at the doctor's office or a party, I want you to make sure that you have the tools that you need with you and that your bag contains current materials, that they are clean. I mean, we don't want to have to pick a Tootsie Roll off of somebody's opportunity packet and apologize for it being smeared and yucky, right? Okay, so current, clean, up to date. So that's probably going to be one of your homework items this week, just saying that you have this ready to go. And I want you to be prepared to speak to each of the personality styles. Remember those DISC personality styles that we studied this week? Be prepared to speak to each of those personality types and give them what matters to their personality style. Stacy says, is it bad to keep boys' underpants in my purse? No, it's not. Just don't keep them in the same bag as your recruitment materials. You know, most of us are moms. There's no telling what's going to be in our purses at any given moment. So, yeah. So, personality styles. Someone who is a D, they are going to be looking for information on how fast they can advance rank levels, how quickly they can make money, and how much money they can make. So look for those clues whenever they're asking you questions so that you can reflect back to them in their personality style. Those I types, they're going to be looking for information about international conference, meetings, events, building friendships. How often does the team do stuff together? That kind of thing is going to be important to them. I see some questions about what to put in recruitment packets. We'll get to that. S, those people are going to want information about the training and support that they're going to get. And they want to know that somebody is going to help them along the way and that they in turn can help other people. And then those C types, they want information to have everything organized. They want to know that they've got a one-place stop so that they can be ready and prepared at a moment's notice. So we want to talk to them about the tools and support systems and things like that. So it's really important that you are ready physically and mentally, that you're prepared. Then you want to make sure that you are enthusiastic. So let me back up. Christine says, how do you know about their personality up front? This is something, yeah, based on the questions they ask you, based on the questions you ask them as well. We're going to continue building on this. But that concept of active listening that we talked about a little bit last week is really going to come into play here. It's difficult to give a script for recruiting because the opportunities come up in so many different ways. You just need to be as prepared as you can be, and you will learn something from every experience that you can share, that you can incorporate into your experience and share going forward. So being enthusiastic, people want to be part of an enthusiastic team, and that energy comes from you as the leader. Whether you have one team member or 100 or 10,000, the energy of the team is going to come from the leader. You know, as the head turns, so the body goes. Wherever you're looking, that's where you're going to drive, that's where you're going to walk. And you as the leader set the pace, you set the tone. That's one reason it is so important for you to stay in excitement as much of the time as possible. Because if you are in a funk for 3 or 4 months or a year, then your team is going to reflect that in numbers and in attitude. And I don't say that to make you feel bad, because I know firsthand how difficult it is to be a leader who suffers from anxiety and depression and often low self-esteem. And so I come from a funk place most of the time. And it's really important that you push yourself, not to be fake, but to show your best side and show the best of you every time that you can, and be enthusiastic. And a benefit of that to me is whenever I go to a local area meeting, or I get on Facebook and I do a training when I'm feeling in a funk, I intentionally am more upbeat and enthusiastic to counteract the way that I feel. It ends up actually helping me feel better. So that's just a little side note, because I know we had several people who also shared that they struggle with depression as well. And then incorporate your team into all selling situations. Team building and recruiting are part of every selling situation. Whenever you're selling a lacquer, a new wrap, a celebration box, or you're selling the opportunity, it's all the same. You're simply offering them items on a buffet and asking them what they want. So make sure that you are always talking about your team whenever you're talking about products, because the opportunity is really the very best product that we have to offer. And if you think about the opportunity as a product rather than a separate component, then it takes some of the fear out of it that a lot of new consultants have around the idea of recruiting or team building. This goes right along with the next point, which is plant the seed. Most people do not just wake up one morning and be like, yeah, you know what? I think I want to be in direct sales. What can I go sell? They need somebody to tell them, hey, you would be really great at this. People with this skill that you have, or this personality style, or whatever characteristic you want to compliment them on, do really well at this. Or you're so good with people. That's something I really look for in a new team member. People don't believe in themselves, and it is your job to plant that seed and say, hey, I'd really like to see you do something like I do. Have you ever thought about Jamberry? You have to be the one to plant that seed. You can't just wait for them to ask you about it. And Delana says, OMG, I love that. I don't know why I never thought about it that way. Totally going at it like that now. The opportunity is our #1 product. It makes an enormous difference whenever you, just from the thought process to the words that come out of your mouth, I think that you'll experience a great shift. Stacy said, so true, you need to plant the seed. Never in a million years did I think I'd be in direct sales. Absolutely. I think most of us are in that place. I think whenever, way back whenever I started indirect sales with Avon, I remember asking people, do you think that would be weird? Would it be weird if I was the Avon lady? If I, like, you know, you bought things from me, would that be strange? Because I was concerned about what people would think, and I just didn't know what, you know, it just wasn't my first choice. It wasn't the life I had pictured for myself. I'm so glad I found it, though, because it incorporates so many of my skills. It's allowed me to develop myself, and I get to meet so many people and help so many people, which would not have been an option with other career paths. So make sure that you are planting those seeds, sharing this opportunity with people. You never know when the next person you meet could be the next Jamberry rock star that shoots to elite in 6 months. So Tiffany asks, when do you give up on a fence rider? I don't until they tell me to quit talking to them. I touch base with them about once a month, just to check in and keep the relationship warm. Hey, how are you doing? I try to ask questions about things that are going on in their lives. Like, you know, when we talked last, your son was gearing up for a soccer tournament. How did that turn out? Just things to keep that relationship warm, so that my name is in front of them. And then if there is a special, or if there's a change in their life situation, I can reach out to them specifically for the opportunity. Harley says, I have a really nice bag that I use as an office on the go that has my goals and my downline goals, and even hostess and opportunity packets in it. Love it. I'd love to see a picture too. And then finally on this slide is share and equip. And so we're going to talk about how to share the information in a way that is at the same time professional, fun, engaging, and in a way that promotes decision making. So let me switch over our slides here. And we are going to talk about the interview. I know that I shared an article on the interview, and a lot of you were very excited about that, had a really positive reaction to that. And so this is just going to be a little bit more in-depth and some different ideas specific to Jamberry. So the interview is basically 20 to 30 minutes of time. That should be your goal. You don't want to sit there for 2 hours with them and beat a dead horse. And that time is where the recruit is focused. Here is where they can be totally focused on how Jamberry can enhance their lives and how they are going to enhance Jamberry. After you plant the seed, after you've given them the packet, ask to have a conversation. Ideally, this is in person, at a coffee shop, or I like to do these at Chick-fil-A because a lot of the people I meet are moms, and our kids can go play in the playground behind the glass enclosure. God bless Chick-fil-A for those glass enclosed playgrounds and free Wi-Fi. But ideally, it's going to be in person. If you can't meet in person, you can also do this by phone, by video chat on Facebook. You can do it at the end of a party, but make sure that your presentation is time effective. So you want to make a plan and work that plan and be really efficient. You don't want to waste her time, and you don't want to waste your time either. So first you want to set an agenda, okay? One of the keys of speaking is to tell them what you're going to tell them, and then tell them what you told them. So it's really important to set an expectation. I do this at the beginning of my parties as well, which helps. Sorry, I got distracted by comments. I'm still distracted. Let me refocus. Okay, so set the expectation and say, hey, Lisa, thanks for meeting with me today. This is how we're going to spend the next 20 to 30 minutes. First, I want to hear about you, and then I'm going to share my Jamberry journey. And then I'll tell you why it should be Jamberry over any other company. And then we'll have some time for questions. And then at the end, I'm going to ask you to give me an answer. Is it a yes? Is it a no? Maybe in the future? What's important to me is that we continue to be friends and continue a relationship, no matter what that answer is. So you're giving them the expectation of how this is going to go, and you're telling them up front that you're going to ask them at the end for a decision. And that, I think, is a really clear and honest, straightforward way to start an interview. It's by letting them know what to expect. If you ask for an answer in the beginning, then you can't ask again at the end because you've already gotten your answer. So save that question for the end. So first of all, tell me about you. When you ask them about themselves, this is where you are looking to find their personality style. I highly recommend that you have a notepad and you take notes during your interview. In fact, I don't even consider it a recommendation. I consider it a requirement. You need to be able to show that you are interested in them. And the things that I jot down are anything that I might need to refer back to or any clues that come up. So I jot down their name, of course, when they mention their husband's name, how long they've been married, how many kids they have, how old their kids are, who else shares their home with them, are they caring for elderly parents, what kinds of activities they do. If she shares with me anything about her schedule time, like her work hours, where she works, where she volunteers, where her husband works, I'm just jotting down all of this information as she's speaking. And then I'm also looking for clues in the things that she says. Does she have high self-esteem? Low self-esteem? Is she confident or not confident? Is she shy? Is she super excited to talk about herself, or do I have to ask her questions to draw this information out of her? Those are all clues to her personality type. So then you can tell them why Jamberry is the greatest based on their personality style and how Jamberry can fit into that. You want to ask them engaging questions like, what would you do with extra money? And remember, with women especially, women do not work for money. They work for what the money will do for them. So they are going to say things like, I need braces on my teenagers, or I'd like to put my kids in gymnastic lessons, or I'd really like to be able to buy a new pair of shoes without asking my husband for money, or I'd like to go on a vacation. I want to quit my job. I want to start my own business. They're going to tell you things that they want to do with their money. They're not going to just straight up say, hey, I really need an extra $350 a month, and I can't tell you what it's for. That's not the way we work. Okay, so listen as they're sharing these things with you, and then ask them to put a dollar figure on it in a conversational way. So when they say, I've got to put braces on my 2 kids, you can go, oh my gosh, 2? How much is that going to cost you? And then you can hear, well, okay, it's a payment plan. I can do it $250 a month. You can begin to see in your mind how Jamberry can help her fill that need. You can ask a question like, what would you do with the extra time with your kids? Where would you go? What kinds of activities would you do? So tailor your questions to their personality styles. And then it's time for you to share your Jamberry journey. Now, here's a clue. If you are brand new and you don't really have much of a Jamberry story yet, as far as you don't feel like you're a huge success, you're not yet making a lot of money, you don't yet have a team, then you can share the positive things that have come to your life through Jamberry and share a Jam Sisters success story. If you don't have your own success story yet, borrow one. Look at the hashtag because of Jamberry and familiarize yourself with a couple of those stories so that you can share. If you're talking with somebody who is a teacher and they want to be able to stay home with their kids that they haven't had yet, then you can think of a team member who has a similar situation and share her because of Jamberry story if you don't yet have your own success story. You want to make sure that the story that you are sharing is going to mirror what they need in their life. Look at your own story and have 4 different ways to tell it that will blend nicely with each of the personality styles. You're going to tell your story instinctively from your personality style. So rehearse it through the eyes of someone with a different personality. I am an I. I love to be the life of the party. I love to go to conference. I love to hang out with people. And I tend to not talk about the details, like the amazing training that we have and the money opportunity and things like that that are not in my personality style. So I have to be really intentional to share those aspects with someone who is not an I. Now, when you get across the table from somebody who's the same personality style as you, it's going to feel like a girlfriend reunion. You're going to be like, oh, my people, and you're going to get along really well with that person. So then you know, hey, I've struck gold. But when you're dealing with somebody with a different personality style, you need to make sure you're tailoring your story to their needs, what they need to hear. You want to remember to always be authentic. You know, you're not lying, you're not making up stuff, you're not embellishing the truth. But remember that this interview is all about them. You're not there to tell them all about you. You're here to find out all about them. And then you can go into why Jamberry. There are hundreds of direct sales opportunities out there. You can then share with them what makes Jamberry unique. You can share things like our amazing host rewards program that is completely supported by the company. That does not come out of our pocket. This is a huge competition to other programs like Mary Kay, for instance, where they say, but we get 50% commission, but they have to provide all of the host rewards themselves. So there's a counterpoint to that piece of the compensation plan. Think about the customer service. Jamberry always makes it right. Think about Style Box subscriptions and how they can establish monthly customers that will, continue to support them as they are doing more parties. Think about Celebration Box and the opportunity to sell that for birthday parties, bachelorette parties, and other celebrations. I love to share that the majority of our price point is $15. So everyone can afford to purchase something at a party. We've all been to parties where we're like looking through the catalog and going, oh my gosh, I can't afford anything in this catalog. I'm going to have to order just the least expensive thing, and it's not even something that I want. And nobody wants their friends to feel that way. So I love that our price point is affordable. Another great selling point is that it is consumable. It's not something that they're going to have a closet full of and won't be able to store any more of. It's also small. There are lots of benefits. You all know the benefits, but explain to them why Jamberry is a great opportunity, keeping in mind their personality style. And then Ask them what questions they have for you. And this is where active listening is imperative. You need to let them finish their question. Don't interrupt them because you think you know what they're going to ask. Let them be heard. And then a great active listening technique is to repeat it back to them. Now, okay, Lisa, I think I hear you saying that you're wondering about the production process with Jamberry, and you're concerned that you want to support businesses that are made in America. And am I understanding that correctly? So rephrase the question back to them and then answer their question. So make sure that you're listening. Now it's time for the decision. This is the most exciting part, and this is the part that you're going to want to skip because you're going to get nervous and it's going to maybe feel a little bit awkward and you want to just skip over it. Don't do it. I will be watching you. Don't do it. So you've already told them up front, so they know it's coming. And so you want to say something like, have I answered everything for you? Do you have, is that all of your questions? So if you don't have any more questions, are you ready to get started as a Jamberry consultant? If it's a no, or they're kind of teeter-tottering, ask them, on a scale of 1 to 5, with 1 being, nah, this isn't for me, and 5 being, oh my gosh, why didn't I sign up yesterday? Where are you? And what could close that gap? So if they're not ready to give a clear answer, that's an indication that there are still some questions and concerns, and there may be some things that you can help with. Jacqueline says, I'll forever now hear you telling me, don't do it, I'm watching you. Good. I will hunt you. You must ask the question. Are you ready to get started? So if they say no, ask them to host a party, or ask them to refer someone that they know who would be interested in learning more about the opportunity. Ask them if it's a no, not right now, or just a no. Don't get flustered by the no, okay? And remember that if they say no, they're not saying no to you. You've already told them that you want to continue the friendship and the relationship regardless of the outcome. So make sure that you don't allow the outcome to hinder that. And listen to what they say. If it's a no for now, then can put them on that follow-up list, that consider list, and keep that contact warm. If they say maybe, or they need to talk to their spouse, set a time frame that you will follow up with them for their decision. This is really important because some people will tell you, they don't want to say no to you. In some cultures, telling someone no is rude. And so they may say, maybe I need to talk to somebody, just because they don't want to tell you a no. So it's really important, and it's very professional for you to say, I totally get that you want to talk to your husband about it. I always offer to let their husband talk to my husband and ask any questions that they might have. And I tell them, my husband will be completely honest with your husband, and neither one of us have ever talked anyone into joining. So set that authenticity there, and say, okay, so sorry, stuttering. So I completely understand that you need to talk to your husband about it. My husband and I discuss everything before any major decisions too, so that's awesome. Do you think you'll have time to talk with him about that tonight or tomorrow? Let her answer and say, okay, great. Since you can think you'll be able to talk with him tonight, I'd like to give you a call tomorrow morning to follow up. Would that be okay with you? Awesome. Is 10 o'clock good? Perfect. Put it on your calendar and make sure that you follow through. Make sure that you do what you say you're going to do. That's part of being a leader. That's just a part of being a professional and taking your business to the next level. I love these stories that you ladies are sharing, that Jamberry is helping you pull out of depression. It is a godsend for me as well. Let me check and see if what I've got. Okay, so here's the thing. If they say not right now, the timing might not be right for some people for 3 to 5 years. 2 to 3 years because of their situation. Everybody's life undergoes a shift or a change every 3 months. So people have babies, they have a new job, they move to a new location, they get married, they get divorced, they lose a loved one, they sign up for college classes, or they graduate from something. Everybody's life is constantly changing and evolving. And it's really important that you stay in contact with people. And social media has made this amazingly easy. We just don't even know how good we have it now. We used to have to actually talk to people in person and on the phone, and now we can keep up with people through Facebook and other social media sites. So this is really easy to do, to stay in touch with people. And I can't tell you how many people have joined me now. I mean, day after tomorrow is my 5-year anniversary with Jamberry. I have friends who joined last year, and now they, of course, tell me, gosh, I should have done this when you first asked me or when we first talked about it. But keeping that relationship open and being authentic, that you are really concerned more about them as a person than signing a new team member, will really help your business in the long run. Make sure that you are treating your business like a marathon, not a sprint. You're in it to win it. You're in it for the long term, and treat your business that way. Also remember that the business is not magical, it's mathematical. If you're talking to enough people and doing enough parties and working with enough people, you don't need to stress out over someone's decision not to join now. Beginner consultants, on average, will sign 1 out of every 10 people that they talk to or interview. As you do a better job and you feel more comfortable, you increase your skills, and you're talking with more people, you can increase that to 2 or maybe 3 out of every 10 people. But you still have to be talking to lots of people. So I always like to stress that we're not looking at people as numbers. We're looking at people as people. But then I want you to also look at the high-level overview. If you haven't recruited anybody in 6 months, look at how many interviews you've actually done. If you're only interviewing 1 or 2 people a month, it's going to take you several months to get a success. So you need to amp up the number of people you're talking to, the number of parties and events that you're doing, so that you can get to a place where you don't have to stress out if somebody says no, because you know you're talking to somebody else tomorrow. That's going to really come through in your team building and in your recruiting interviews. So any questions, go ahead and let me have them while I am pulling up our homework for this week. Thank you for the wishes on my happy 5th anniversary, Jamberry. I am so excited. I can't believe it has been 5 years. I don't even know where the time has gone. Time flies when you're having fun, they say. I will tell you, I thought I would be an elite executive by now, but I'm not giving up. You better not give up either. All right. Can someone post what to put in a recruiting packet? Because my goal is to give out 3 to 5 recruiting packets at every party, I keep it super simple, sweetie, because if I overcomplicate it, then I don't put them together. So what I put in a recruiting packet is the host join brochure or the opportunity brochure, or both, a sample, my business card. Let me back up. On the opportunity brochure, on the back where it says your consultant is, I write in your name here. Ask me how. just as another visual clue, another seed to them that they can be the one who's the professional jam lady getting paid to have cute nails. I drop in something as a gift like a nail file, just depending on what I've got. I don't always do it, but a nail file or a buffing block, something that's logoed. And candy is always a good idea. Sometimes at one point I dropped in a package of extra gum with a little note that said, just in case, this is great to give you a little extra in your life, and then listed some of the extra benefits of being a consultant. During Christmas time, I included a candy cane upside down because it was a J for Jamberry. So, you know, there's all kinds of things that you can do, but the important thing is to keep it simple and duplicatable, because you don't want them looking at this elaborate packet with, you know, hand-cut designs and fancy ribbons and thinking, oh my gosh, I could never do this. You want to keep it simple. And then I used the little sealable cello bags from my girlfriend's house that are like, oh gosh, they're like 100 for $6 or $8 in tons of different styles. And I can put the brochure, all of this information in it, seal the bag, and drop it in my purse. And then it doesn't matter if there's Tootsie Rolls or crushed animal crackers or whatever in my purse, because I'm a mom of boys. It's gonna, all the materials inside are gonna stay clean. So if you have other opportunity packet ideas, drop them into the group. And Lisa says, do you put in a sample sheet or one or two individual samples? I put in a sample sheet. Our samples are so freaking inexpensive, and I get mine for free because I use marketing credits. You should be getting yours for free too. Everyone should at least sell 600 a month so you get marketing credits. Then you will never pay for catalogs and samples. So if that's not a current goal, make that a goal, because not paying for catalogs and samples is awesome. I have $95 in marketing credits available right now, and I've already restocked my catalogs and samples for the spring. So that's, they're just so cheap that I just give them a whole sample strip. It's, you know, and part of it is just, it's easier than trying to attach an individual sample strip to something. Let's see what other questions we have. What about cold market? Do you approach them the same way? I'm not sure that I understand the question. Lisa, could you, what approach are you talking about? Are you talking about the interview or giving them a packet? Give me a little clarity. Stacy has almost $300 in marketing credit. Woo, you gotta go spend that, girl. You gotta go on a shopping spree, get you some new stuff. Okay, so while Lisa clarifies that question for me, let's talk about homework for week 3. So again, 2 parts. The mandatory homework is to listen to the daily vitamin each day. I apologize, I forgot to put one out this weekend. That was my bad. But I will do my best to put them up all week long. Create your Jamberry testimonial. Bonus points to you if you create it with all 4 disc styles in mind, okay? Create your 20-minute recruiting interview script using the ideas that we've shared tonight, the ideas that are shared in the group tonight and from last week. Connect with your upline. This is important, guys. I want you to connect with your upline, your sponsor, your team manager, your executive, and share with them what about their leadership and their support that you appreciate. As you are learning to become a leader, it's important that you recognize and appreciate the leadership qualities that you see around you, because as you train yourself to see those qualities in others, you're also training yourself to develop those qualities in yourself. So I want you to reach out to your upline team and share with them what you appreciate. And then I want you to create your recruiting support document system. Don't be scared by this. This is basically how am I going to keep track of the people that I'm talking to and when I need to follow up with them. It can be as easy as a spiral notebook with a page for each person. It can be an Excel spreadsheet. I use Trello.com, which integrates with my Google Calendar. You can use something, a pre-done system like the Client Angel, or there's other systems, customer relationship management systems. It doesn't matter. The form is not important. What is important is the function, that you have a system in place to support your recruiting efforts. So that's part A. Part B, you can do multiple activities for each. You only need to complete 3 of these. So Power Hour, pardon me, host and close 1 party in the next 7 days, book 2 new parties, not the ones you booked last week, 2 new parties for the next month, sponsor 1 new recruit in the next 7 days, and or make 20 commercial calls. So that's it, ladies. We're bumping right up against 1 hour. I thought this was going to be a short week, but there was just so much good information that we just had to keep on talking. Christine says, silly question, what are the size of the cello bags that you order? I think that the 6.5 by 9 inch. And their shipping isn't terrible, but if you've got other consultants in your area, let them know that you're putting in an order and see if they want to split shipping with you. I'm all about saving money. Also, you can use a discount code with them, Jamberry 15, and get 15% off. They gave that to us at the very first conference, and it still works. So there you go. All right, ladies, I'll be posting this out on Facebook. I'll see you in the group this week. Have an amazing week, and we will be on Tuesday next week because of our monthly team meeting, which you can attend on Facebook in our Glow Girls, the Big Group Facebook group. Thanks for coming, and I will see you this week.